Okay, so under the camera you see a newly painted watercolor stripe assignment on a full sheet of watercolor paper. So this completed assignment is worth 50 points, but not before you go back on top of your dry paper and add a good deal more line work and detail using just the regular marker on the paper, no watercolor technique at all, okay? Here you see I did just regular black marker, the tip of it oftentimes on top of some watercolor work. And I kept to a single color, which was just black. Now you can see the black isn't really black. When it dissolves and moves around the paper, it's kind of a blue color, but that's kind of beside the point. You can use as few colors as you want to, or as many. Just avoid using a lot of yellow, because yellow just does not show up, okay? So here this is kind of dry. I worked top to bottom, so I may go up here right now and try to add some detailing, knowing that this area is a little bit dry. Now, what I do on top is, as long as this is dry, is just going to stay like it is. It's not going to vary. It's not going to change. The line work is not going to be altered. There's no more water in the paper. So here I go, like that. And that's kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and put a few of these little fellows down, creating more line and more rhythm. Okay, line is movement, but it also, in this case, creates rhythm, maybe even a little pattern. Not overall pattern, but pattern going left and right. Let's see what we can do down here. Now I could use the same marker, I might, and I'll just do a series of straight lines. Now remember, if you practice your straight lines, this is easy. If you don't practice your straight lines, this is kind of tough. So you be sure and practice. Just a little warm up every day on the back of your paper allows you to do this well, okay? And just keep on going, keep on going. I think I have all of 7 lines on here. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I do. And I expect between 6 and 7 lines, or I'm sorry, between 6 lines and maybe upwards of 8 or 9 lines on the same sheet of paper. You can work this way vertically, you can work this way horizontally, it doesn't really matter. Okay? So this additional detailing and elaboration is an important part of the design. You do first watercolor technique, and then you do the fine line detailing on top of that after it's had a chance to dry. In this case, maybe it's dried for about 10 or 11 minutes, I don't know. I'm going to snap the cap on that, put that away. I think it might be kind of fun to do something behind these bubbles, so I'm going to go ahead and put some of this behind the bubbles. I can draw on the bubbles too, for that matter, or for all that matters. There we go. And that links them up and makes even more of a flow or a fluid movement across the paper. All right, so I got that one. Let's take the yellow. We did yellow down here with green. Not much going on with that line. Let's see if we can improve that. Do this. These 2 lines kind of overlap or intersect. That's okay, as long as you're being careful. Okay, so there's the detailing on that one. Let's see what we can do down here. Well, this seems like it's pretty easy. Here, let's take some of this pink we used up here and use it again down here. Do pink, 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 pink. Picks up a little bit of the black because I'm not being as careful as I should be. But there we go, there's that. Looks a little muddy, looks a little unclean. So let's see what I can do about that. Let's take some of this purple here, add it on top. You realize that I'm just doing this as I go along. I don't really have a major plan for this other than to be careful, okay? And if you can be careful, sometimes that's the only major planning you need to do. Okay, so that line's complete right there. What about down here with these hearts? Here, let's do this. I'm going to use the side of the marker. Sometimes it'll go behind a heart, sometimes it won't. Now I'm going to use the tip of the marker. Sometimes it'll go behind a heart, sometimes it won't. I'll go ahead and go up here. Kind of do the same thing with just the tip. Going behind those if I can. Go back down here again. Okay, and I might just put a few little small shapes again to create a little additional rhythm or pattern. So I've done everything except this one at the very bottom. You can see how quickly this will go. I'm really looking for evidence of control over the line, evidence of control over the brush. You've got to be able to do both those things by this point. So take your time. You do have to do a concept. That's important. And your concept will begin to give you some ideas for lines and combinations of lines. That's all this is line work. Now, you try.